Have you ever seen a mule? Mules are strong animals. They are a mix of a donkey and a horse. Mules are one example of a hybrid. A hybrid is a mix of two different things. In biology, a hybrid is a mix of two different animals or plants. Sometimes hybrids happen naturally. This is like the mule. Other times, scientists create hybrids in a lab. Scientists study hybrids to learn more about how animals and plants work. Hybrids are interesting. They make us think about what makes each animal or plant special. Hybrids can also exist in stories. Writers create hybrid characters to explore interesting ideas. These stories can be fun and exciting. They can also make us think about important questions. What does it mean to be different? What does it mean to belong? Stories about hybrids often make us think about how we treat each other. They remind us that everyone deserves to be treated with kindness and respect, even if they are different from us. In my book, Evil Robot Monkey, the main character is named Sly. Sly is not a normal monkey. He is a special kind of hybrid. He is part chimp, part robot. Scientists in the story made Sly in a lab. Sly looks like a chimpanzee. He has brown fur and long arms, but he also has metal parts. These parts make him stronger and faster than a regular chimp. He also has a computer in his head that lets him talk and understand human language. Sly lives in a science lab. He spends his days doing tests and experiments. The scientists are trying to learn more about intelligence, and they want to see if they can make animals smarter. Even though Sly is part robot, he still has feelings. He feels happy, sad, and angry, just like any other chimpanzee. He also starts to feel lonely and trapped in the lab. He wants to be free. He wants to live in the jungle with other chimps. Sly's life in the lab is difficult. He struggles with who he is. He is not a normal chimp and he is not a robot. He is something in between. This makes him feel alone. The scientists treat Sly well. They feed him and take care of him, but they also treat him like an experiment. They are always watching him and testing him. This makes Sly feel sad. He wishes he could just be a normal chimp. Sly's robot parts also make him different from the other chimps. He is stronger and faster. He can also talk and understand human language. These things make Sly special, but they also make it hard for him to fit in. Sly's story is a story about identity. He's trying to figure out who he is and where he belongs. It is a story that many people can relate to. We have all felt different or out of place at times. Section 4. Could a Humanzee exist? Comparing Sly to reality. Sly is a fictional character, but his story makes us think about real-life hybrids. One example is the Humanzee. A Humanzee is a theoretical hybrid. It would be a mix of a human and a chimpanzee. Scientists have never created a Humanzee. It is not clear if it is even possible. But the idea of a Humanzee is interesting. It makes us think about what it means to be human. Like Sly, a Humanzee would likely face many challenges. It would be caught between two worlds. It would struggle to find its place. It might not be accepted by either humans or chimpanzees. The idea of a Humanzee is controversial. Some people believe that it would be wrong to create such a hybrid. They argue that it would be cruel to bring a creature into the world that would face so many challenges. Others believe that it would be a scientific breakthrough. They argue that we could learn a lot from a Humanzee. Section 5. The ethics of mixing, thinking about the consequences. The idea of hybrids like Sly and the Humanzee raises ethical questions. Is it right to create new life forms? What are the consequences of our actions? These are difficult questions with no easy answers. When we create hybrids, we are manipulating life. We are playing with nature. We need to be careful. We need to think about the possible consequences of our actions. We also need to think about the ethical implications of creating hybrids. Is it right to create a creature that would likely suffer? Is it right to create a creature that would be so different from anything else in the world? These are questions that we need to consider carefully. There are no easy answers, but we need to have these conversations. We need to think about the ethical implications of our actions. We need to make sure that we are using our knowledge and power responsibly. Section 6. Feeling for Sly, understanding the heart of the matter. Sly's story is ultimately a story about empathy. It is a story about understanding and accepting those who are different from us. Sly may be a fictional character, but his struggles are real. He represents the challenges faced by anyone who has ever felt like an outsider. He reminds us that everyone deserves to be treated with kindness and respect. regardless of their differences. When we read Sly's story, we are forced to confront our own prejudices. We are forced to ask ourselves how we would treat someone like Sly. Would we accept him, or would we fear him? Sly's story is a reminder that we should always choose empathy over fear. We should always choose understanding over judgment.